Today we are flying from Barcelona to Los Angeles for 375 euros round trip. This week is my spring break and it also happens to be my mother's birthday. So a little while ago I was searching for flights to surprise my mom for her birthday, but I figured they would be really expensive because it's Easter week. It's a lot of people's spring break. Then I saw it, 375 euros round trip. Barcelona, Los Angeles, BCN, LAX. That's like unheard of. There is a catch. Apparently, the airline I'm flying is like the Ryanair of international airline. Apparently, from reviews, I have heard that the seat room is not even sufficient for a small rabbit. They do not serve food or anything. You pay for you to get on. And a carry-on bag, which I think is actually really nice. You had the option to add food for an additional price. I did not do that. And I figured, oh, okay, I'll bring my food from home. However, I thought I planned it well. I would have just enough groceries to make breakfast and a sandwich to bring with me. I don't. So I need to make breakfast to bring with us, but then the flight is from 2 p.m. till it'll be 3 a.m. Barcelona time when I land in Los Angeles. So I need to figure out something for lunch and dinner. But I don't have the time to do that, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to do that at the airport. But we're gonna keep costs as minimal as possible. So I'm gonna go make my breakfast now to bring with us, and we're gonna take obviously public transport to get there. Duh! Ew, that was so annoying. Okay, let's go make breakfast. We are not gonna be late, but maybe Alexis time late, because Alexis time means 3 hours early. I put way too much milk. This obviously cannot be like porridgey. It has to be like oats, but I think it will soak up. Oops. -1 orange slice. Boom. That is breakfast. That actually looks fabulous. And I also have this, whoops, I have this bag I'm gonna reuse, but it in, and I have a spoon. I don't know where this spoon came from. Some food I got, and then I just used a spoon. I don't know. Okay, we are all ready to go. I have my suitcase packed and my backpack. There is literally nothing in here except my computer and my headphones. And now my food. Okay. I'm so excited to go home. Oh my god. 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 Also, I forgot to say, like, I'm not just flying to LAX. I'm flying home. I'm flying home to surprise my mom for her birthday, except the surprise is kind of ruined because I had to tell her. Anyways, that is how you know true love exists, because my mom is picking me up at LAX at 6 p.m. For those who are not familiar, LA traffic is always bad. 6 p.m., ridiculous. The LAX pickup line, redonkulous. At 6 p.m. Oh my god. It wasn't even a question. She was just like, okay, I'm picking you up. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. Listen, I love my life here, but like, when you know you're going home, home. Just stop dilly-dallying. Let's go.
Aeroport Terminal U.
Time to go through security. Oh, thank God. There's a Pret. I think all of my problems are just solved. I'm just gonna buy a sandwich and call it a day. Wow. They're gonna release my gate information in 20 minutes. I am ample time ahead, and I ended up eating my oatmeal very quickly on the train because it wasn't like hardening enough, and I was just worried that it was gonna be liquid. But I am still hungry, so I'm kind of ready for lunch anyway. Thank goodness. Let's see what they have. €18 later. Got sandwich, blueberry muffin because it just sounded good. I realized I could get everything in one stop, a sandwich. I don't know why, I just really wanted a blueberry muffin. It looked fantastic. It's way overpriced. And then a coffee, all in one swoop, because I have to go to gate D/E because when you leave the EU, like, you have to go through passport control before you even get to the US. So like, I'll have to go through passport control there, but also here. So we're gonna go do that now. And I remember when I went to London, there's like not much after passport control, so I'd rather just get something now. The guy at security said, "Have a nice flight," and I accidentally said, "Igualmente," but we laughed about it. He will not have a good flight. He's not flying. He's staying there. Okay, I am so glad I bought Bean before because there is literally nothing on this side except vending machines. Wow, good instinct. It was 18 euros, but 18 euros well spent. Will that sandwich and muffin last me 13 hours? We shall see. Okay, let's make sure my gate exists. I lied, they have this place, but I'm still happy with my sandwich. They actually board in 30 minutes, so we don't have as much time to spare as I thought. I was able to fill my water bottle, so we should be good on water, hopefully. We are about to start boarding in like 5 minutes, so I consolidated my lunch bag into my personal item. Also, I have no idea what seat I am. I'm 30J, but I don't know if that's middle, aisle, window. We're gonna find out together my fate for the next 13 hours. Here I go. Let's see what my fate will be. I am so excited. Either a window or an aisle. I hope it's window. It'll be aisle. That's okay. Hello! From voiceover Alexis, because I did not want to be obnoxious doing a plane review on said plane. It's time to get into the fun stuff. Actually reviewing this flight. Never actually reviewed anything, so my basis is going to just be on vibes and past life experience. Boarding the plane, it was pretty standard, comparable to any other economy long-haul flight. Arrived at my seat 30J, which would be my seat for the next 13 hours, and I was actually pretty impressed with the leg. For reference, I am a 5'5" female with, I don't know, measurement in centimeters, but I was able to fit very comfortably with ample room, even with my bag underneath the seat in front of me. So on this scale of vibes, I rate it good. My seat partner had not yet arrived, so I put my bag next to me to show how much room there was without my bag there. I don't know why I was so shocked to see a TV, because I remember reading reviews about how you had to buy headphones, but I was pleasantly surprised to see a TV there. Then my seat partner arrived, and I'm gonna keep the vibes rating at good because I was still feeling really comfortable with the amount of space I had. However, the real test is going to come down to what movies and TV shows they have available. I don't even have headphones to watch them. Okay, I do have to mention the Vibes rating is going down ever so slightly here because this specific TV, the buttons didn't work half the time, so everything had to be controlled by this remote. But you will see in just a moment why that literally did not matter whatsoever. The TV/movie selection was fine. As I said, I don't have headphones, so I wasn't planning on watching anything anyway. However, at this moment, Level Airlines, if you are for some reason listening, I have one humble suggestion, and that is to lower the volume at which you are playing Benson Boone as we all board the plane. That was blaring. But unfortunately, you don't get to live the rest of that experience with me because I don't want Barcelona's finest, Benson Boone, to throw a copyright claim at me. Okay, also remember like 1 minute ago when I bought this sandwich to last me 13 hours on a plane? Yeah, we hadn't even taken off yet. We were still sitting on the tarmac. In my defense, this was kind of like lunch. I don't know, I guess I just forgot I would need dinner as well. Yeah, but that's later me's problem. At this point in the flight, vibes are feeling high. Sandwich is tasting overpriced. I am still excited. And I have to say the sandwich was pretty good, but nothing will ever compare. We were still waiting on the tarmac for the flight to take off, so I figured this was the perfect time to see what they actually offer on board. Now, there was something really cool on this first page, but I skipped by it too fast, so we'll come back. But after finishing my sandwich before we had even left the ground, I was a bit worried about the food, so that's what I wanted to check out. I'm being dramatic, I know I'll be fine. I was just curious to see the food offerings if you hadn't pre-ordered. Oh my god, are you seeing that? All seeing that? Benson Boone, are you seeing that? I guess airplane food is always expensive, but $20 for some reheated lentil salad or lasagna seemed a bit steep to me. They also offered a Benson Boone Barcelona taste omelet. Like, why are they calling it an omelet? Level Airlines is actually a Spanish brand. So I don't really know what Benson Boone or an omelet had to do with any of those. Call it a tortilla de patatas. But yeah, here's an overview of all of the prices of food for anyone who is interested in taking Level flight upcoming. Prices are quite high, but I think that's to be expected as with any airline food. But I will say they did have a pretty great selection of pre-packaged food and sandwiches and stuff like this. I'm not sure if all of this actually would have been available on this specific flight, nor did I try to buy anything, but the options, they are there. I just feel like this was an important part of the flight to show because the way reviews online made this airline seem was that I was going to be stuck in this metal tube for 13 hours, no food, no water, nothing. I wanted to show, like, even if you didn't bring food, I mean, you're not going to die. They have stuff to get, it's just quite expensive. And here, speaking of headphones, €2. Bring headphones if you want to watch a movie. At this point in the flight, we were still sitting on the tarmac and we have moved on from Benson Boone to Adele. After my diligent reading, it was time to take off and say adieu to Barcelona. Just for a week. I'll be back. I remember about a minute ago when I was scrolling through the in-flight pamphlet and skipped over page 1, but said there was actually something cool there and we'll come back to it. Well, let's come back to it. To my surprise, the flight offers Wi-Fi that you can buy, but every passenger gets free texting Wi-Fi messaging. Wow! In all honesty, on my phone, it did not work that great. The connection was pretty shaky, but I was able to text my mom quite a few times, which did help with the boredom in the later hours of this flight. Obviously, I don't want to talk and be annoying the whole flight to everyone surrounding me, but so far, no complaints, it's fine. I ate my sandwich. We took off. See how I feel in 13 hours though. Little did I know those 13 hours were about to get a lot more pleasant because walking out of the bathroom, I noticed something. I ended up being the luckiest girl in the world and found multiple rows open, totally available. To be honest, I think I just got really lucky here because for the price I paid, I definitely did not expect this flight to be so empty. I am not in the market to complain, so I took this available seat with such graciousness and got my computer out to start editing. So this flight took off at 2-ish p.m. Barcelona time, but it was going to be landing in LAX at 6 p.m.-ish. I'm no stranger to long-haul flights and time changes, so I decided my plan of action for this flight was going to be to stay up the entire flight so that by the time I land home, I could go to bed as normal and hopefully beat jet lag. Luckily for me, I had hours of footage to go through from Berlin, so that pretty much occupied most of my time. A couple hours in, the flight attendants brought out the food for people who had pre-ordered or paid for food on the flight, but everyone did get a cup of water if you wanted one. Of course I did. I think I am part fish. I drink so much water. Doesn't really make sense. Okay, anyways. Also, the water break made me realize it was probably time for a little stretching break because, to be honest, that is the only way I can get through long flights. We were like 2.5 hours in. I was able to find a row to myself with some great editing done. There's a lot of empty spaces on this flight, and now I am stretching my legs a little bit because my feet were trying to fall asleep because of the way I was sitting here, and I think it's like 4:30-ish, 5-ish. It's muffin time, so I'm gonna wash my hands because I don't know how else to eat the muffin cleanly. Muffin time is over. It's back to voiceover Alexis. I could actually fit laying down on the 2 seats if I kept my feet crouched by the floor. That was not our plan. Remember, we are trying to stay up the entire 13-hour flight so I can go to sleep when I get home. But that was going to be a little bit difficult because at this point they shut all the lights off and closed all the windows. I took this as my cue to turn down my brightness and lock the F in. I will spare you the boring details because basically I edited for about 5 hours straight. I got up and stretched, but that's about it. You might be remembering, I ate my sandwich before the flight even took off, and then I ate my muffin. I did bring snacks, but I only brought one measly granola bar, which is practically a cookie, and this bag of Dorito twists that I have never seen before, but I saw at the grocery store, so I wanted to try them. And here's the thing, I usually don't get hungry at night. I'm not a midnight snack type person, but that's because I'm going to bed. But I realized on this flight, if I'm not going to bed, I am gonna get hungry. But to my surprise, they randomly came around giving everyone crackers regardless of if you bought food on the plane or not. I'm still kind of just running on empty carbs and nothing substantial, but I was so grateful for these crackers. It is now 9 p.m. I have officially eaten all the food I have, so I'm glad they came by with some crackers. But I'm glad I have my own water because I have already drank all of it. But I saved a little so I can brush my teeth because ew, but I need to brush my teeth. This is the point where things kind of took a bit of a turn because I edited for a couple more hours and then my computer died. They do have a charging port on the plane, but it's only a USB and I only had a USB-C charger. But I was like, hey, it's 3 hours. I can do anything for 3 hours. So I laid with my thoughts, headphones in. I got bored of my thoughts, too much thinking. So then I watched the F1 movie with no volume, subtitles only. And I knew we were getting close because they started to turn the lights on and serve breakfast to those who had paid for it. Oh my, jump scare, first of all, because my eyes were looking bright neon red from staring at nothing but screens for 10 hours straight. At this point, I was losing it a little bit, and it's only my fault because when they were passing out everyone else's food, that's what made me realize, oh my god, I'm so hungry! But it was so close to the end that I didn't want to buy anything now. That felt like failure. I'm not a failure. I knew my mom would have Cheez-Its waiting for me in the car. So I stared out the window listening to the most random songs I have downloaded on Spotify and found my inner peace. And lo and behold, we made it. When I checked the TV screen, there was only 30 minutes left on the flight until we would be landing home. At this point, I didn't care about the hunger. I didn't care about the sleep deprivation because when I looked out the window, I started seeing familiar terrain. Mountains that I had flown over so many times through my childhood. And when the clouds passed, a very familiar skyline. I started getting really emotional. It's kind of hard to express in words the emotions I was feeling. Maybe it was a wave of nostalgia or the weird feeling of everything suddenly being so familiar. I am so happy and incredibly grateful for the life I have created in Barcelona, and I know that's where I'm meant to be during this period of my life. But realizing that I was actually back in Los Angeles after making the decision to move away, it just made me a bit emotional, and my mind kept replaying memories of a life I have left behind.
Germany has an interesting and very cool...
Hey, hi Alexis. You look good, Alexis.
Alexis is receiving the Principal's Award today.
It's okay, Lex.
More than anything, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for my mom. I have a mom who said go. A mom who loves me so much that she will always be there when I come back. Or even meet me across the world. What a privilege it is to have my heart be so torn across 2 continents. Okay, this video was supposed to be a review of a super cheap airline ticket I found, and somehow it became a retrospective look into my childhood and my life. But I mean, to be honest, what else are you supposed to do on a 13-hour flight? Seems kind of fitting. Anyways, back to the review. Now that we are almost landed, I think it's fair to give my conclusive thoughts. Overall, the vibes of this Level flight I would rate very good. Obviously, I got very lucky and each flight experience will vary, and I can tell you from my own experience, the flight back to Barcelona was even emptier, but they did not hand out crackers. I did bring more snacks though. I have learned my lesson. So, would I recommend flying Level Airlines? Yes, absolutely. For a round trip flight to the US for this price, it was undoubtedly worth it. Even if I wouldn't have been so lucky with the empty flight, for me, it still would have been worth it. Quick disclaimer here, the summer season is approaching and that is peak tourism season, and I think it would be near impossible to find this flight at this price now. For this price, I might recommend just going with a non-budget airline because the prices are nearly identical. So for 375 euros, this was very clearly worth it. But I need to be honest with you. I would have paid any price and I would have sat anywhere in any metal tube in order to be home with my mom on her birthday. Oh my god. I'm home now. All I need to do is go find my mom. Oh, I see her. Let's wave, look at her.
Oh my god, it's like you never left.
No one's in the back either. There he goes. Well, no one